Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. My name is Bianca. I just wanted to do a quick little blog, talk blog, shall I say, or video blog, however you want to say it. Just talking about the process of transition, or I want to say maybe the part of the process in transition. And one of the big things is whenever we're transitioning to go into something new, there's always a part of it that feels really, really weird. A part I like to call that is uncomfortable. Whether that be you're having a baby, you're starting a new job, you just left school, you're starting school, you're starting to work out, you're doing the process of breaking away from maybe people or relationships that weren't really healthy for you. You may be overcoming a health problem, whether that be a mental health problem or a physical problem, an emotional problem. So many different things that can take place. You're moving to a new country, or you've just left home, or you're returning back home. It's all about that transition, and during that transition, there's a part that's really, really uncomfortable. So I want to be talking about the uncomfortable because that is the process that you have to go through in transition, and there's no way around it. Sometimes that uncomfortable process really stops us, and we generally go back to what we know. For example, I'm maybe someone who's trying to cut down on my sweets intake, and that process is tough if you've been used to having it all the time and um, eating on it, eating every day, different types of sweets and that kind of thing. So you're going to have cravings, and that's really uncomfortable. You're going to have all these thoughts, and that's really, really uncomfortable. However, once you get to that other side and you do eventually give up the amount of sweets you intake, you become to a comfortable place. You come to a peaceful place. So I just really want to give those who are in a moment or place of transition where it's really uncomfortable, and you may even be questioning, should I be here? Did I make the right choice? Is this a big mistake? Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean you necessarily made a bad mistake. So you really do need to get uncomfortable in order to get comfortable. Especially the same thing with acceptance, accepting change, accepting how you may feel about something or someone, accepting ourselves. Maybe we're realizing we're really not perfect as we think we should be. And so we're beginning to accept those ugly things about us, and that's really uncomfortable. Or you're scared of making a mistake that people may look at you differently, or you're going to mess up and you're going to be a failure. I like to call that kind of getting into the gray area where you're really uncomfortable, but after a while, you move through that process. And as long as you recognize and you realize that being uncomfortable is part of the process in transition to becoming comfortable, my hope is that you'll be able to stay there with some support and some encouragement for others, and don't run back to what you used to know. Well, you might actually run back to what you used to know, and that's okay. Just dust your feet off and just get up and just really try again. So transition is tough. It's not easy. I do encourage that you have a healthy support system, that you take a look at yourselves in terms of growing and who you are and who you're not and who you want to come be, and just know that it's going to take time. And like I said, I always say to people, you have to get uncomfortable, sorry. You have to be uncomfortable in order to get comfortable. And that is part of the process. And that is the ugly part. Even, last thing, childbirth. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. Never had any kids myself, but I hear all about it. I'm sure everyone's heard or you know about it yourself. But when that baby comes, it's such a joy and such a blessing. And then even in the midst, if you're a new mom and new dad and you're transitioning your whole life to having a child, that's difficult and that's uncomfortable too. But eventually you start to work it into place. So don't give up. In those uncomfortable stages, know this is part of the process. Be aware of what's going on and get the support systems. So this is Bianca Hughes. It's great talking to you. You'll see me on my website. It's biancakesha.com. And I hope you have an amazing day, evening, or night, wherever you are. And remember, you have to be uncomfortable to become comfortable. Thank you for watching.